I have ridden camels in the Sahara Desert. I have traveled the world and seen things amazing to see, but nothing has prepared me for this, for where I am now. The vastness, the beauty, and the fear. Today we are heading up into the Mule Mountains of Arizona. This is the story of me being humbled and overwhelmed and being completely unprepared for any of it.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. Taxi service? Do you go up into the mountains? So, how do we go from me calling a taxi to me fighting and cussing my bus as we climb for altitude? Well, it's because there are no taxis, no Ubers, and no Lyfts down in Tombstone, Arizona. We had to drive the bus up here. And that's a big part of the fear. But before we get into a discussion of that and the majesty that goes on the other side of the fear, I'm going to go walk around this town. It's Bisbee, by the way, in case I haven't mentioned it to you. It's a really cool town. It's supposed to be gorgeous. We're like a hippie enclave in the middle of, well, Arizona. Let's go see what we got here, and then we'll talk later, okay? What did you get? I got a bag.
Coco Pelli.
You got a Coco Pelli.
I got what I afford.
Alright, so far we've managed to eat and spend money. And we've only been to 2 stores. Let's see what else we can find. It's cheese. Oh, we have to go get cheese. Are they open?
No.
No. No cheese?
No cheese. No queso.
Oh, that's just wrong. I hate this town. So what shall we discuss first, the good or the bad? Well, let's start with the good because the bad is kind of, we'll save that for in a little bit. I was just telling Nikki the other day that I have never been in the American Southwest before, and I am amazed, gobsmacked, just astounded at how beautiful it is. Now, I've watched Hollywood movies. I've watched John Wayne tearing off into the sunset, rescuing whoever he was rescuing. But it doesn't do it. Hollywood does not do it justice. No matter how big of a screen you're looking at it on, it is so much bigger in person. And when I was telling Nikki this, we were driving along and I couldn't come up with a word. I was thinking inconsequential, small, diminutive, and she sort of threw out from the back, humble. And it's exactly the way this place makes you feel. It's desolate, it's barren, dust storms pop up all the time. It's 90 degrees during the day and it's about 40 degrees at night. You would not think that somebody would call this place beautiful, but I am so taken by it. Let me spin you around so you can actually see my face. It's getting kind of dark out here. It makes you feel something. Now, that's also a bad side. There's also a real downside to wandering around in utter desolation, and I don't mean, not having enough water and then you die somewhere under a cactus. No. There's a real big, deep downside. But I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow to tell you because I really want to put together some thoughts on that one. And I may need to have a couple drinks tonight to kind of make sure I do it right. What does this mean? Well, it means we're trying to get to Tucson. It's the biggest city anywhere around here. We've tried a bunch of smaller towns. There are no radiator shops. There are no truck services. Nobody who could take care of the huckleberry for us. So we're spending an hour every day, sometimes 2, and we're just creeping our way over to there. We don't want to stress the bus too much. And, well, today we're going to get an hour closer. Really cool place. Show it to you in a bit. But for now, I got to get some free advertising up. So here's the deal. I'm from the East Coast, where everything is really packed together. I'm not used to being out in the big, wide open. When I went down to the Sahara Desert, and I only spent 2 days out there, and I went in on a camel, I came back on a camel. It was such a novelty that I didn't even pay attention to how big it was. But we've been out here for weeks, and all of a sudden, you can look around for 10 miles in any direction, and you don't see another human being. What happens if you break down? I'm driving a 15-year-old bus that's overheating like snot, and I can't just call a wrecker and go, hey, can you come pick me up? Because that takes a specialized one. That is 20,000 pounds, 10 tons worth of bus. I don't even know if they have a wrecker like that out here. They didn't have a radiator guy. Why would they have a wrecker? So anyway, this is the kind of crap that goes through my head as I'm driving along. I've got the responsibility of bus maintenance, of bus driving, of utilities and everything else in there. And sometimes it gets to you. And when you look at all this open, you're like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. What happens if something bad happens? And I don't want to be that pessimist. I'm not normally that pessimist, but somehow all of this gave me that reaction. My YouTube channel, it is all about living a happy life, living an intentional life, putting aside society and norms and all of that good stuff and go do what you want. Well, why am I still talking about it? I've preached about it enough. I'm actually living it. Maybe this is what you need to see instead of me just constantly whining on about how. Anyway, the pessimism, and it ends today. It stops kaput. Somewhere off there, over that mountain. We're going to throw it over there. And with that, watch for what's coming up next. Hopefully it'll be a little less and a little more. Thanks for watching.